neutrals, unknowns, those who haven't subscribed, and those who have, to the channel. Congratulations on realizing it exists. And I've just gotten done with another lovely multiple sunrises ride. You know, some people talk about multiple O's and multiple this and multiple that's. I had the multiple sunrises on this morning's ride. I did the Trinity plus 1K, and it was so good. So good. So, yeah, that's what I'm talking about so far. It was just. And then at the end, I love it when a rider catches up to me, like when I'm doing a cool down at the end of the ride. Sometimes somebody will, pull up behind me, get on my wheel. We'll have little chats. It's so nice. So yeah, I discovered a new rider. I never saw him before. I don't know. Everybody wears the same disguise, so it's very hard to recognize anybody. If you ever rode for a cycling club, it's really hard to tell people apart. I mean, they'll show up on different bikes in totally different kit, wearing a different helmet. You know what I mean? It gets pretty complicated pretty quick. So, so that's part of the reason why I try to always wear the same stuff. You'll always either see me with my own branding and my employer's branding, or the team I ride for, the local bike shop, the Velo Shop. And don't forget to visit theveloshop.net for all your cycling needs. No, that's not a paid advertisement. That's just telling you to support your local bike shop. Yeah, don't support ours if you're not in town. But if you're in town, definitely visit the Velo Shop, because it's splentacular. I mean, whenever I tell people that I ride for the Velo Shop, everybody says, "Oh, Becky's so nice." And then I say, "She must be. She tolerates me." Because cyclists are notorious cheapskates, and are we're insanely particular about our stuff, our hardware, because, hardware can be life or death. You could get stranded. You could have something break while you're descending at 60 miles an hour and things like that. So there's that. Yeah, it's and of course the danger is probably part of the allure of the sport anyway. Part of the reason why the sport's so attractive, why it has such a high level of efficacy as a workout program. And of course, a lot of us don't even consider the sport to be a workout program. For some of us, the fitness is just a fringe benefit of catching the cycling bug. Ah, yes. And it's a hard one to lose once you've caught it. You buy one nice bike and forget it. Like, I would warn you, don't buy an expensive high-end bike unless you want to be addicted to cycling, because once you get a nice bike, it's crazy. I mean, my first race bike cost about $700 back in 1997, and man, I still remember what it was like when I first got that thing. I was like, what is up with this? I could not believe how good it was. I mean, it probably went 800 miles without needing any kind of anything that I didn't break somehow. Because that's the thing with mountain biking, folks. If you ever did like serious mountain bike riding, what we say is, we serious mountain bike riders. Actually, I'm not serious anymore, but when I was pro, I was pretty serious. We say, if you don't crash, damage something on your bike, that one's in jest, of course. Crash, damage something on your bike, and draw blood but don't even feel pain, you haven't had a proper mountain bike ride. Seriously though, you must crash. Especially if you're training, if you're training, you must crash, because you have to know where that line is. And you have to ride right on that line, like Top Gun pilots. The line between being out of control and being in control. You want to be right on both sides of that the whole time. In a race, you want to just err a little bit to the non-crashing side, and that's one to grow on. That's how to make a mountain bike go fast, real fast. And of course, tire compound pressure and tread pattern is absolutely key when riding off-road. I mean, if you got the wrong tires for the conditions, it doesn't matter what your tire pressure is. If you have tires that are great in mud, they're probably going to suck with hard packed with sand on top. You know what I mean? Like you need a semi-slick for that. That's the only thing that's good for it. So certain conditions are going to be bad for almost any tire, like ice, save for carbide spike tires. And I'll stop ranting about cycling now. So what's for breakfast today, folks? What are you having? I guess I've got to have some eggs because I'm feeling a little depleted. Yesterday I couldn't even get it up. Yeah, I couldn't get it up. My heart rate, indicating that I was overtrained. I was overtrained, and it was evident because of the heart rate. I couldn't get it to maximum. I was at like near maximum effort, but I was not achieving maximum heart rate. So if you don't know anything about that, it's super good to know. If you want to like keep your fitness going like this, yeah, HRV stress tests. Takes 3 minutes in the morning. I think you can only do it on a Garmin device the way I've been doing it. But I did it enough times that I know I intuitively can tell that I have a little higher HRV stress score today. So what that tells you is if you're gonna do any kind of training, scale it back. Don't do it if there's full intensity training, don't do full intensity. Do it like 92%, 90%, 85%, 80%, something like that. Because when you train with high HRV stress, you don't get the kind of benefit that you want. I better do 3 eggs. Doing 3 extra large eggs, folks, because, oh my gosh, what the hell? You're good. That's what you want. You want flies to get inside of your fridge. That's perfect. Just perfect. Yeah. Pennsylvania, it's an adventure all year round. Pennsylvania, a state where you can have all 3 seasons in 4 days, all 4 seasons in 3 days. No, all 4 seasons in 1 day, really. Or certainly 3. I mean, that happens on the regs. So check it out. I got a workout goal I want to share with our YouTube audience. And please feel free to leave comments if you've got workout goals. But I've got a fitness goal. I mean, call it whatever you want. Call it a CrossFit goal. I don't know, but it's quite hilarious. And most of we cyclists are aware of our limitations all too well. Yeah, that brings me to my September challenge. Yes, I've got a September challenge. And won't you join me by challenging yourself to something in September? My challenge is going to be... Would anybody like to guess? My challenge will be to do 1 pull-up. I guess I'll drop a short about that. That seems... Oh, man, now I turned on green screen. I don't want that. How did I... dude... Turn off the green screen, bruh. I was going to make a clip, but I don't... Oh, there we go. There's a highlight. Yeah, welcome 8 viewers. Please press the like button. We've got 8 viewers and 0 likes, and you're all lurking. Nobody's leaving comments, so leave a comment. So yeah, join me on make yourself a September challenge. Mine is by midnight on September 29th or whatever. I guess the last day is the 29th, right? 29th, 30th, whatever, the last day of September, midnight. I want to be able to do 1 pull-up by then. I think I'll probably be able to do more than that. I mean, historically speaking, when I was in high school and stuff, I could do like 3, 4, 5, maybe, something like that, if form didn't matter too much. And cyclists are notorious for having pathetic upper body strength, so we're not embarrassed by this in the slightest. Hi, Original Ganja. Is it late to bed means late to rise? It's the wake and bake, baby, when you open your eyes. Oh yeah, I don't care how you think how do I look crazy? You sound crazy. So yeah, it's a great challenge. I'll be able to probably do like 3 pull-ups by then, And here's how I'm going to do it. I'm going to go to the low bar. I'm not even going to bring elastic bands with me. I'm just going to go to the low bar, jump up to a hang, and then just slowly lower myself down. And then, that'll be enough that over time, I'll be able to do one pull-up. You see, I suffered an injury. Yeah, an actual injury, believe it or not. It's a very rare thing for me. That's how I'm able to ride thousands and thousands and thousands of miles every year. But this year I suffered an injury because what happens to we cyclists is when we reach top form, we are forced to do cross training, right? Because you can't just ride the bike. That's not going to work for you. You can't just ride and ride and ride and ride and ride. You got to do some other things, whether it's go on hikes, go running, lift weights, go swimming, play racquetball, like whatever it is. You got to do all those things because skateboarding, whatever. All of those things carry over to your cycling. There's any sport carries over to any other sport. So if you're like a master of, let's say you're a master of, I don't know, curling, right? The sport where you slide the stone on the ice. Let's say you're a master of that. Many of those skills correlate with cycling. Those skills are going to correlate with all kinds of things, mainly shuffleboard, but still, I mean, it's any kind of a competition. And you have a team there too. So there are the team aspects. It's very complex. But cross training is crucial, folks. You can't just only do one thing. I mean, ask anybody who's in the NFL, NBA. They don't just like play basketball all the time. They would get so burned out. Like, you have to do other stuff. And the more you mix it up, the more you're going to enjoy it. So anyway, I mixed it up by idiotically trying to do a pull-up. I went to the high bar, which I had to jump to get onto. So now I'm hanging completely stretched out. And I'm like, yeah, I could do a pull-up. So I got to about, I don't know, 80, 90%, maybe like to here. And I couldn't get the rest of the way up, but I tried real hard, and that was a real stupid thing to do. So like by 3 p.m. that afternoon, I was like, oh, this isn't good. I feel the burn, and it's not so good. So that was, oh man, that was like a month ago, 3 weeks, a month ago, something like that. And it's still not quite right. Like, your head has all these muscles on the back of it, very small, thin muscles that like go all around this whole area. There are like some muscles there, and it does take like 5-6 weeks if you're going to have like major changes in your muscles. And like, you have no idea how extreme it can be. Like, sometimes you can have new muscles overnight. The one time, I mean, this probably didn't happen overnight, but the one time I did a mountain bike race and I cramped up from the waist down. So I had bad nutrition. It was very cold. We'd camped and I was far too cold. And I did this race. It's one of the most technically challenging races in the world because it has a single 32 mile loop of nothing but rocks, pretty much. The whole race is a rock garden, and it's 32 miles. And I eventually got to the point where, I started cramping up, but I still had to make it back to the start because you're out in the woods. You know what I mean? So, I knew that I wasn't going to win or anything like that. A guy actually broke the course record that day. And he's called Jeremiah Bishop. He still races and stuff. Like, you can find him on Instagram. And so I started cramping up toward the end. And by the time I got done with the race, I had cramped. Everything from the waist down was cramped, more or less. So like every major muscle group. Glutes, my quads, my hamstrings, and my calves were all cramped up at the same time. And good luck stretching that out. If you have a quad cramp in this muscle right here, you get a cramp in that or your whole thigh. And if you want to stretch that out by doing this and bending your leg, if you have a hamstring cramp too, that's just going to exacerbate your hamstring cramp. Like, your leg will lock up and you will not be able to move it if you're a serious athlete. So like, what you have to do is you just got to sit there and deal with it and like drink Gatorade or Pedialyte or something like that, because you need electrolytes. You've used up all of your glycogen and your ATP and so on. So you're in absolute doomsday mode as far as muscles. Um, and no, you can't post your Henry Danger X house fan fiction here. But thanks for asking, My Ling, and thanks for leaving comments. Um, so yeah, if you do get cramps like that, all you can do is just hydrate. I mean, if you ever feel a cramp even coming on, scale back that muscle use and get to drinking. Like you better have electrolytes. If you don't, like plain water, but you're flirting with disaster there. I mean, that's how you get stranded places. The one time I had to jump off my bike because I cramped up so hard that one of my legs locked up, and I was kind of ready for it. So, but I had to unclip and jump off my bike because I was going uphill, and if your leg just locks up and won't move, it's pretty hard to pedal. It's going to stop the other leg from being able to go around. So I just had to unclip, jump off the bike, and bail the bike into the grass. Fortunately, there was just like somebody's lawn there and a nice shade tree. I kind of had that sighted out. Could tell it was going to happen, and I just kind of like jumped off the bike and I just flopped down on the ground and sat there for a minute. Fortunately, there were other riders there, so they nursed me back to the start line. But I mean, I did an idiotic thing. What I did is I did a 64-mile metric century on my time trial bike with like zero training, and I tried to ride like real hard. Like I had only a few hundred miles on the season that year, and I don't know why I wasn't riding. I was busy with something, and like I had no form at all. And I'm just like, oh, I can wing it for 60 plus miles on a time trial bike. What could possibly go wrong? Well, that's what. It was real hot, and I mean, I didn't know what I know now about nutrition back then, and I was an idiot. I did a really, really stupid thing. And fortunately, there was the guy that was on my wheel was a doctor, so it was fine. And they helped, they allowed me to draft on the way back and things, and people were handing me nutrition bars and things like that. So it was fine. There was enough hydration there to survive. But that's what's nice about doing club rides, because if you paint yourself into a corner, there's somebody to throw down some painter's canvas for you. Um, and of course, you can compare notes with your fellow club members as well. And your local area probably has a local cycling club. I mean, you want to join ours? Please do. It's called the Lehigh Valley Cycling Club. And the team I race for, it's in the process of transitioning. So the Velo Shop race team is eventually going to be branded after Becky's nonprofit organization called Quinny's Quest, which focuses on coaching up young new athletes. And so that's all going to change. But like, hit up your local cycling club if you're looking to buy a bike. They probably have want ads. There's nobody better to buy a bike from than like a hardcore cyclist who just has their beloved bike sitting there because they got a new one or something and they don't have room for it. You won't get a better purchase than that typically. These things are often immaculate, perfectly maintained. There's like nothing, it's almost like getting a new bike a lot of times. I mean, when I got this Cannondale here, this was an impulse buy. I was making so much money at the time that I was like, yeah, I'm just going to pick this carbon bike up real quick and ship it to the Velo Shop so they can put it together for me. And this only cost $2,200, I think. So if you know anything about how much modern bikes cost, like that's a carbon fiber wheel set. That is Shimano electronic shifting. Like, this bike is insane. Like, you think you know, but you have no idea. It is like an alien spacecraft. And it sounds like the Starship Enterprise. I mean, when I'm just pedaling, it sounds like the Starship Enterprise. It's bonkers. Let me put this up here. It makes me look less aggressive. I spend a lot of time and energy trying to not be a dick. Because when you do those club rides I was telling you about, you have to be part of the solution for some of those riders sometimes. You can help them bridge the gap back to the group and stuff. Somebody will have to stop for a pee break, and then the group's going up the road and they're about to get dropped and have to ride the final 15 miles by themselves. They don't want that. So we let them draft and pull them back. You can save a ton of energy, and when you ride with a group, doing a 50-mile ride is like doing a 35-mile solo ride, or doing a 25-mile solo ride sometimes, depending on what the terrain's like and how the riders are behaving. Sometimes we don't behave. We ride like sociopaths and we go off the front and we go up the road and you never see us again. Other times we ride at the back and we make sure that everybody survives and nobody's left by the side of the road with vultures picking their bones. It's always different. That's part of what makes it exciting. Right? Like, you never know what to expect. A fun secret about me, if you see me wearing Super Mario Bros. Socks, if I got Super Mario Bros. Socks on, look out, because that probably means that I've got a Fire Flower and an Invulnerability Star, and I've certainly got the 1-Up Mushroom, and I've certainly got the Supersize Mushroom. It's, you never know which one it is, but watch the socks. If you see the blue socks with the Invulnerability Star that are like real high, that come up like halfway up my calf, those are the ones to really look out for. If you see a star on my shins, that means I'm going to ride full sociopath probably at some point. Like, maybe not for the whole ride, but if you're on the ride, you'll know when that happens. If you're going up a climb and everybody's at 300 watts and then one guy just decides to go to 900 watts, you'll notice. You'll either watch him walk away up the road, or you'll accelerate, or he'll be gone, because that's a lot of watts if you can just suddenly put all that out. And so, a little history about me and how much power I can put out. Earlier this year, I probably weighed 190. Now I weigh under 170, and I can put out about the same power, real close. I think I might even actually be stronger now than I was back then. So we'll see what happens on September 1st, because there's an event called the Donut Derby, and I'm going to step on the gas the whole time. So that should be a fun test. I'll be doing 36 miles at, I don't know what speed. I'm not sure, but there'll be a lot of bikes, and the goal is to get to the first donut stop by myself. That's only 12 miles. It's not easy to do that, but if I can get there out of sight, where I show up and nobody can even see me when I get there, then I will be gone. They will not be able to get on, because, again, I'll just get far enough up the road. And maybe somebody will be able to. I guess it's theoretically possible. You could maybe Dave Zabriskie will be there with a time trial bike or something. Who knows? But I'm going to go kind of fast, and I'm not going to win the event. I'm going to put in the fastest donut non-adjusted time. So I'm not going to eat any donuts. Eating a donut saves you 3 minutes, and I'm going to eat 0 donuts. But it's all about the elapsed time. So I'll put in the fastest non-donut adjusted time on the day, and I'll be happy. And then I'll tell the story of the first donut at the after party. So if anybody would like to check that out, please do. It's going to be brilliant. The story of the first donut. Maybe I'll tell it now. So here's the story of the first donut, folks. The first Donut Derby, the inaugural event. There was a group of about 12 of us out front. We'd shelled everybody else. There were like 12 riders. I don't know the names of any of them. But a few of them, like maybe 3 or 4 of them, were from the Vortex team. There was a team that featured a lot of the local juniors called Team Vortex. They wore like blue and canary yellow. They were a cool team. We recognized them from the races. So when we would see them at an event, it was nice, because they were like a recognized team. I was riding for Team Bike Line, and our club was the Lehigh Wheelman Association. So our team was called Team Bike Line / LWA. And what happened was, I had the time trial bike, that one right there, the gold colored bike in the background. And we got to this one intersection, and back then nobody had GPSs. So you had cue sheets, which is a folded up piece of paper. Sometimes people would tape it to their stems. But we would use road markings. So they would actually paint arrows on the road that said like DD and then had an arrow pointing, turn left, turn right, whatever. And that way you just look for the road markings. They were well made and well designed. They were at the right places for speed and stuff, right? So we get to this one spot where we're just supposed to go straight, and it's an intersection that's like this, where the one road is kind of, at an angle. It's not perpendicular. And when we get there, like the three riders, I think there was like three riders maybe in front of me, maybe four. And they like all did different stuff. The one decided to go straight, one tried to like turn right, one tried to turn left, and they were all like, whoa, oh my God. Like people like rode in the grass. I think I might have ridden in the grass. And like I'm on a time trial bike, so I have to be out in the cow horn bars, and it's not any like less maneuverable or anything. It's just I don't want to mess up my time trial bike by crashing it, right? So when that happened, I was mad. I was like angry, and we were only 6 miles in, maybe 5-6 miles in, like halfway to the first donut stop. Oh, thanks for leaving a comment, Raul. We were like halfway to the first donut stop, like 6 miles into a 36-mile ride, right? And when that happened, when those dudes were like, "Oh my gosh, no!" I was like, "Fuck this! You dudes are getting attacked right now." So I did a full attack. I went full speed from there, full speed straight from 14 miles an hour, whatever I had to slow down to because of that near crash. I went from 14 to 32 miles an hour, and almost maintained that all the way to the donut stop. Like it was shockingly fast. And there was only one rider that was able to stay there. It was one of those kids from Vortex. He was like 15, 16, 17 years old probably. And I mean, we ripped it. He wasn't really able to take pulls. He did get out in the wind a couple of times. He at least blocked the wind for me. And of course, he was blocking the wind from behind too. When you have a rider drafting you, that does speed you up a little bit because of laminar airflow. I won't get into it, but so he made it to the donut stop with me. He was able to stay there, and I wasn't trying to drop him. He was like a respected rider, so I left him there. I didn't keep trying to accelerate to ride him off my wheel. I allowed him to stay there because it was a benefit having him there. You know what I mean? Everybody else was out of sight. They were completely dropped. That other group of like 10 riders, they were gone. Like within 1 mile, they couldn't see us anymore. I mean, just absolutely went like 30 miles an hour almost the whole way. The kid's like, "Nice pull." I'm like, "What?" He's like, "Nice pull. You just went 32 miles an hour for like a mile and a half, nonstop." And I was like, "Oh, thanks." And then he goes, "Are you going for donuts?" And I'm like, I hadn't thought about it, but yeah, I guess. He's like, "Okay." So, we're making it to the donut stop. We get there. There's nobody in sight. Like we're like, I don't know how far ahead. We're over a minute ahead probably. So we stopped, and I go to the donut dudes, and they hand me a donut on a popsicle stick, and like I didn't even have to get it near my mouth. I just like thought about eating it, and I was like, I was like ready to puke, because when you ride that hard, a donut is definitely not what you want. A donut is not what you want at all. It is very heavy. The sugar's good, but all that fat and flour and stuff, that is not good. Like, that just sits in your stomach like a lead anchor. So, yeah, I got that first donut and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm barely going to be able to eat this. So I shoved that thing in my mouth and I was like able to eat it. I like washed it down with some water. And as soon as I was done with that one donut, I was like, I'm out. I handed the guy my stick. He calculated one donut. That's the only donut I ever ate at the donut derby. That's the story of the first donut. It was not vomited out. I gave it a good home. But yeah. And then after that, I was like, I'm out of here. I didn't see what that Vortex kid did. I'd like to know what he's doing at this year's Donut Derby. Hopefully he's there. Maybe he'll hear the story of the first donut because he can corroborate this story that we almost crashed at that one intersection. And I know the intersection. I tell the story sometimes when we're on group rides there. Yeah, so after I ate that one donut, I'm like, boom, here's my popsicle stick. The guy like pulled the tab off my number or something to like have a redundant record that I'd stopped. And then I went boom out of there. I like rode off like it was the World TT Championships or something. Full gas all the way to this, past the second donut stop, all alone, nobody there. And yeah, that was like, that's been my thing ever since. Put in the fastest non-donut adjusted time and don't win the event. Because our club runs the event, right? Like, don't be a ringer. Imagine if you were like a pro golfer or like a pro bowler and your club does an event where there are like prizes and stuff. Don't go win the event that your club does. You know what I mean? That's really generic. Who does that? Like, that's like a scam almost. So anyway, yeah, that's the point. I mean, I can put in a fast time, but I'm not going to eat donuts. Somebody's going to beat me by like 2 hours. You know what the record for donuts is? Over 50. Yeah, somebody ate over 50 donuts. Good luck. Good luck beating that record. That is a dubious record, right? Anyway, folks, thanks for tuning into the live stream. I'm going to try to get to some space and earth weather. We're going to skip regular news. I think the news cycle's crap anyway. The Federal Reserve's in the news. Oh, mortgage fraud's in the news. Whoa, how interesting. Uninteresting, that's how. So we'll talk about space, we'll talk about Earth, and then we'll close this thing out. So leave comments. And if you got stories you want us to cover, maybe I'll comment on them. If you leave a super chat, I'll definitely comment on them. Oh. So good. Oh my God. Oh. Eggs are freaking great. Like my neck feels better. Ah. Yes. So life is good, folks. What's good with you? Summer's ending. People are flailing around. They're like, what am I going to do in the cold winter months ahead? They got like, they're like running around like chipmunks with mouthfuls of birdseed. Mouthfuls of nuts. What's what the Dr. Gupta says? Oh, I'm sorry. Raul says, stop touching nose. Nose dirty. Bye. Thanks. Like, I'll touch whatever I want, sir. Stop touching nose. Nose dirty. What's with the hat indoors, says Dr. Gupta. I like hats. I mean, look at my hair. It's a disaster. Like, look at this. I look like Gollum. I've got this facial hair which looks ridiculously, and it's just there because it's a reminder to like get this cut because this is too long now, and it looks very silly, very silly. So, but I'm about to become a singer for a band. Like, I am a singer for a band. We haven't rehearsed or met or anything yet, but we started a band. It's bonkers. Yeah, I'm a front man, believe it or not. I mean, I guess you can probably believe it. You're watching the channel, right? Cheers, Dr. Gupta. Hat off. Chapeau, sir. Chapeau. Oh my gosh, so good. Do I take vitamins today, folks? And if so, which ones? I think I'm going to take some vitamins. How about a little bit of L-lysine? and a little bit of choline inositol. These are not endorsements of these supplements, nor medical advice. So please consider these only for their novelty value. We thank you. We thank you for enjoying supplements responsibly and for viewing the Smash News Network Least Busted Name of News, where we leave the propaganda, nonsense, and grifting to other YouTubers who choose to talk about space weather and basically give it a bad name. The Tinfoil Hat Crew, you know them. You know them. They're fun. They're fun people. They'll say, Namaste. And then they'll believe nonsense and try to convince you to do the same. Folks, switch to organic coffee. Do you drink coffee? Is it organic? If it's not, switch to organic. I mean, seriously, just try one thing. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. So visit the links below this video and you will find a link to our Amazon storefront. One of the departments is coffee selections. Use a drip maker, not a French press, because you don't want homocysteine in your diet. So you filter it out with one of these things, a coffee filter. French presses are dumb. Joe Rogan has one sitting on his desk all the time. Like, will somebody send him an email about homocysteine, please? Like, how much does his French press sponsor freaking pay him to advertise French presses all the time? Everybody should have a French press so you can make tea out of anything, okay? But you shouldn't drink coffee out of it. Coffee should be done out of a percolator or a drip maker or some other kind of like espresso. There are lots of things, but a French press is not what you should be making coffee in. Homocysteine is super bad for you. It's a massive inflammatory, it's an inflammatory agonist. I think that's the proper terminology. If you're a pharmacist or something, please correct me in the comments, as I'm not familiar with pharmacist lingo. All right. Yeah, I'm trying to finish my eggs here, but it's been a trying morning. I've been trying to give a All right. Dennis says, oh, and by the way, good morning, Dennis. And Barb says, 2 done. And you're actually right. But they came out kind of strangely irregular today. Like they're 2 done on the bottom and they're kind of liquidy on top. I think I had the heat up too high, but hey, I was live streaming while I did it. So it's multitasking, accomplishing 0 tasks all at once. You see what I did there? That's a good one. Accomplishing 0 tasks all at once when I multitask. It's why I'm so efficient. Oh, man. No, seriously, I feel like a disaster because my neck. But I swear, it already feels better, and I don't know why. I even rode kind of hard. So, I don't know. You're a living laboratory, so go out and do some testing. It's super fun. Don't miss out on your lab testing where you're the experimental group and there is no control group. You have to be vigilant with your stat collection. Stat collection, stat! All right, what do we got? We're talking sunspots, we're talking coronal holes, we're talking magnetic fields, we're talking earth weather. So earth weather first, and it is, because I want to know what's happening this weekend. I'm going to do something awesome. Maybe multiple awesome things. No, definitely multiple awesome things, such as the Atlantic Ocean sunrise. We're going to hit the range on tomorrow, but things occurred. Yeah, that well done, Barb, for noticing that the eggs were overdone. And what's with the 3i/Atlas comment? I don't know. Why don't you tell us? Like, you keep asking about it. Why don't you like put some info in the comments? I mean, comets are definitely not space weather. I mean, I don't know. I guess it kind of is. You know, you can get a new debris cloud. I guess it's space weather. I don't know. It depends on like where the comet is. We do have some severe weather there over eastern South Dakota, and a little bit of scattered showers there over the central Great Lakes. Also, the Gulf Coast has some scattered showers today. The weekend outlook for Lehigh Valley, Pennsylvania is, ooh, tomorrow, Saturday, the 23rd, Saturday, August 23rd. Sunday, chance of showers, then showers likely. Looks like we almost lost you there for a second, folks. So if you're coming to ride bikes in the Lehigh Valley this weekend, pack it all into Saturday because it's going to be, might be completely rained out, or it might be rained out part of the day or something like that on Sunday. Now, we might go mushroom hunting. Yeah, mushroom hunting on Sunday. That seems like a perfect plan. And maybe we'll miss the Atlantic sunrise. If it's going to be cloudy, you're not going to catch a sunrise, so we might have to postpone that one. But I don't care because it's all about the donut derby, baby. Riding the donut derby super fast on a TT bike. And we've got Saharan dust crossing the ocean. I guess I can show that real quick. Saharan dust. There's our Duex map. And it is, look at the dust there. I mean, you can see it's still getting entrained into this hurricane there. And that is at the surface. So that's where it's going. It's headed up there along Newfoundland. And yeah, shrooms. I know somebody who knows which ones to pick, like which ones are edible and stuff. So she is a delight. And maybe we'll hit it up Sunday morning because I know this spot that we don't tell anybody about. It has so many mushrooms. It's like because of its location. If you want to look for mushrooms around your location, folks, one of the tricks is if you're in the northern hemisphere, look for the north face of hills. Why? Because mushrooms grow in places where there's less UV light. So there are places in the summertime that still like never see direct sunlight. That is where you can expect to find your favorite fungi, or if you prefer, fungi. I think I like fungi better because I'm such a fun guy that it could get confusing if I say fungi when I meant fungi. As far as the sun goes, not too exciting. I mean, flaring profile is pretty chill. And solar wind, we're just in a C class background flux, barely. So real-time solar wind is pretty nominal as well. We've only got 1 proton per cubic centimeter at about just under 500 kilometers per second. So nothing exciting going on there. Sunspot number is currently, according to the Royal Belgian Observatory, it is at only about 53 sunspots. So very low solar activity. No reason to even really show images here. But we'll bring up the GOES 19 SUVI. And then I'll close this stream out. If you've got more comments to leave, please do. And here is the closest star, the most exciting one to gaze at. If you're a stargazer, I mean, definitely this is the star at which to gaze. You've got to trust your instincts and let go of regret. You've got to bet on yourself now, star, because that's your best bet. It's so cool. That's the ionized helium wavelength of 304 angstroms. And dag, why is it not playing? Is it playing? It is playing. It's just so inactive. So yeah, a pretty calm star right now. The closest star, El Sol, etc. All right, yeah, it's time to close this thing out. So thanks for tuning in, everybody. Congratulations once again on realizing the channel exists. If you're new, press subscribe, press the share button regardless. And thanks to all of our new viewers and everybody who hasn't seen the live streams before. Like, this is a whole new phenomenon. And yeah,
super excited about what's coming this fall and winter as well. It's just crazy. It's crazy. I mean, hopefully you're not as overstimulated as I am, but maybe you want to be. I don't know. I've done reverse aging to the point where I feel like I'm 13. Yeah, I feel like I'm 13 for real. It's bonkers. So, um, yeah, and I'm not really taking any performance enhancing drugs or anything like that, right? It's so, yeah, anyway, time to close this thing out. We'll see you soon here at the Smash News Network, least busted name in news. I've been your host, Dan, aka Smash Mash. Already did my ride, Dennis. I might do a second one though, because it's another beautiful day, and I want to pack some mileage in because Sunday, probably not going to ride. So yeah, cheers. See you soon, and until next time, may that solar wind be at your back.